Welcome to Conversations with Agents of Change. I'm your host, Izy Boyd, digital strategist, community builder, storyteller, and proud agent of change champion. This podcast is where we look beyond titles and achievements to uncover the real human stories behind change, the courage, the struggles, the creativity, and the ripple effects that reshape communities and industries. Today, we are diving into the world of dance, not just as performance, but as a powerful tool for connection, well-being, culture, and identity. And to help us explore that world, I'm thrilled to welcome Mayte Segura, a contemporary and Mexican folk dancer, choreographer, teacher, and founder of Mexican Dance Belfast. She began dancing at 23, an age where many dancers are already deep into their careers. And yet, she went to earn awards from the Arts Council of Northern Ireland, train internationally, and to build thriving teaching and performance practice that blends culture, styles, and communities. Mayte is without a question an agent of change, using dance to empower, connect, and inspire. Mayte, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm glad. Mayte, your journey is incredibly inspiring because you didn't follow the traditional path into dance. Can you take us back to the moment when dance first became part of your life?
Thank you. Well, as you said, I started dancing later in life at 23, where I met a contemporary dance teacher who did Camero, which is one of the most important contemporary teachers in Mexico. She brought the contemporary dance from the Graham technique built in the United States into Mexico, and she's one of the first generation teachers that passed this legacy to Mexican dancers. And I was so lucky to find her. And at that moment, she accepted me as a student, and that started in there. My journey started there because she was just an amazing, inspiring person that opened a full new world. I was in science before.
Oh, okay.
Statistics and maths. And then she opened just a wonderful door for me that opened my mind, opened my soul, opened my body, everything for me. And I understand the beauty of dance and art. And that was the beginning of a journey.
Oh my gosh, that sounds really exciting. As you said, very inspiring. And what was it about movement and performance that fascinated you?
Well, since I was a child, I was always fascinated when watching the Olympics in TV at that moment and seeing all these beautiful artists. I always loved dancing, but unfortunately, I didn't have the chance. My mom loves music, so I studied music for like around 10 years.
Wow.
And she decided that dance wasn't for me at that moment. So I always loved dancing. So it was inside me, I guess. So when I discovered this beautiful teacher, I just love it. I just love the way that it feels in my body. I love the way that it helps me to go through my life.
I really love that because I'm a mom and I sometimes have this idea of what I believe my kids should be doing or not. And I think that happened to me as well. My dad told me, like, you are good for computer science, so you should do programming and stuff. And I mean, I love him to bits, but I think he was wrong. I'm more a people person. But I did enjoy that journey. And surely having music in your life kind of help you to join in the music and the dancing, and so it's nice.
Really, no. Sorry, Mom. I love you. No, I love my mom. Don't take me wrong. And I know as a mom that you always want the best for your children. But not really. I have zero talent for music. But despite that, I'm really good. So I learned from 10 years, and I also play a lot. And I guess inside me, I know something, and the music, rhythm, and all that. But then in terms of dance, I find a different path. But it's not about the music. I think for me, dance is more about the movement and to be able to use my body to express emotions. And when I read in the books that dance is the way to express, I wanted to find that way. I love it. So I think for me, it's more that dance for me it goes beyond just technique or music. It's more as a full human expression.
And I think that's so important and so powerful, because I think sometimes we have so much to say, but we just don't have the channels to do that. And sometimes just expressing with your movement, with your body, it helps a lot to express what you're feeling. When you began training, what were those early days as someone starting with no experience? What was it the first thing that you thought, oh, maybe this is too difficult, or it doesn't matter, I'll just go through? Tell us about that.
It is too difficult for people who wants to start training. It is hard. It is hard. At the beginning, I have to wake up at 7, go into training, start at 7:30, finish at 10:30, run, because I was working as a teacher, run into my classes, come back at 12, have rehearsal until 4, and then rest and have dinner, and then the next day was the same. And sometimes we use the full day to train, and you get exhausted. But you want to do it again.
Yes.
And I think that's the beauty of dance, that once that you discover your call, then there is no way that you can stop it.
I really love it. As you said, when you find what feels right, you just want to keep doing it, even if
that
it's
sensation of being there. Yeah.
Yeah, even if you're exhausted physically, and even if there's so much to do, and you still want to go and do it, which I think it's very important. And I love the way you are showing that to children and say, look, this is exciting, because some people might not necessarily have access to try different things. So sometimes at school it's mostly sports, or mostly, like the normal academics and, literacy and maths and whatnot. But sometimes just expressing your emotions through dancing, and if you're happy and if you are joyful, or might not be like you're grumpy and you just want to lash out through movement, you can do those things. And I remember many years ago you had ballet classes for young people, for toddlers.
Yeah, actually I still have it. If you guys have children that want to dance, please bring them to me. We have baby ballet classes still, and that's a beautiful program, because I believe that children should be educated in dance from the very, very beginning. And my classes are really a playful way for them to learn and for them to understand music and dance and feel. What I try to do with my classes is transmit to them what I feel and what is dance really about. Mm-hmm. There is no stress. And people come back. Like every year I have so many students. And when they grow up, they come back to my classes and they say, thank you, because my daughter loves dance since she was a baby. And seeing the progress every day in those babies when they become toddlers, and then we're really able to dance and feel, and then seeing those expressions is a really, really nice thing to do.
Is that magical moment when you see the journey of children, to see when they are able to do something, that you see them struggling for so long, and then suddenly one day they just can't do it. And that's that spark in your eyes. You're like, oh, I'm so proud of you. You did it. But at the same time, it's also as well a little bit of satisfaction for yourself, because it's like, oh, I'm doing something right. So when was that first moment when you felt, I want to do this, I want to teach others, I want to perform?
Well, I always love teaching. I think teaching is a beautiful way to share and to expand the love for what you do. Yeah. But especially with children, I decided when my baby was born, and then I wanted to leave a legacy. I was like, I don't want my daughter to feel like the mom is a useless. And so I decided to create this class for children, because there was no classes like that in Belfast. There was not a place where I should go and let my children and my daughter enjoy. It was just two ways, too relaxed or too structured, and there was not in between. And so I did a lot of research. I researched about Montessori techniques, and then I researched about all these skills works and all that early years. And I have lots of training before to start my own class. And then I also take samples from curriculums from the Royal Ballet Academy, from the British Ballet Organisation. I took a couple of trainings with another company in England. So it was a well-researched structure that I did. And over the years, it has proved to be really working.
Oh, so I love it. I think it's very interesting how you moved from that early years with your own daughter and your journey, and finding that gap in the market and say like, well, I don't really find what it's needed here for children, and you came to fulfill that. You created that ballet.
Let's create it.
Exactly. I love that. And I think that is an agent of change. That's what we do. Like when we don't find something, we just find a way to make it happen. Well, let's go back a little bit to your first years as dancers. Were they easy, or did you find difficulties financially, like emotionally, physically, or was it like all smooth?
No, it's never smooth, especially in Mexico. Countries like we don't have that much support, I guess, the same in all the countries for the arts. So we have to find our own way. As I said in the past interview, I have to rely on food vouchers because at the company, they didn't pay us. They pay us in food vouchers, and that was my only food. But it's okay because I actually have to look after what I was eating.
Yeah.
And it was hard because coming from a science background, I wasn't used to move at all. So the dance training changed my full body. So it has to be transformed, your body to be able to perform. It's not an easy journey because it's physical, and the body, which is us, have to take it all the work on itself. But it's very rewarding because then you see your body changing, and then you see yourself changing physically. So it's very rewarding, but it's hard. It's really hard. It was really hard.
And I suppose that when you see your body change and you feel that fulfillment of, I've done it, I've done this, your mental health also changes. And then your emotional health, your emotional well-being changes as well, because then you feel that you have achieved something. So I suppose it's more than just the movement. And I think that is really exciting. But then again, were there any moments where you doubted your path?
No. Not in this one. In the first one, in the science and everything, yes. But once I started dancing, I knew that that's what I wanted to do the rest of my life. And then never took my path, even when it was so hard. My mom said that I look so green. My skin looks so green because I wasn't eating properly. And it was hard. And my teacher was really hard on us. Constantly asking for more and putting the body to the extreme. And it was hard, but it was worth it. I always knew. And now I wanted to help people to feel what I felt because it's just amazing. And honestly, if you start dancing at any level, you will see the benefits in your body. And I said at any level because sometimes we forget that we, as an adults, I don't know, I just have this feeling that we think that we are done and that we cannot do anymore. And then from my experience, I have children, then I have young people, then I have nothing. Then no one wants to dance until you finish your life and then you are in like a pensioner. And then you decide to start again. But then what about the adult life? I think we have plenty of adults in our society that don't dance, and I think that's the best exercise and the best thing that you can do for your bodies.
Absolutely.
I do have classes, by the way, if you want to.
I think I love it because I'm not a very sporty person, but I love a wee boogie. I love to go out and dance, and I would dance to anything, even if I'm really not good at it, but I just enjoy it. And I think that's part of what gives you a little bit of that confidence that would come from trying something new. And I think, as you said, there are so many unhealthy habits that grown-ups have that if we would change that for, like, especially for people who think, oh, I'm not a runner, oh, I don't go to the gym, but we still have other options that are perhaps more fun to exercise our bodies and to enjoy that. And you're doing something truly unique by bringing Mexican folk dance into a cultural fabric of Belfast through your company, Mexican Dance Belfast. And obviously, I know you're Mexican, but what inspired you to create Mexican Dance Belfast?
Well, I gotta be honest, and the idea was born in a party.
Oh, was it?
With Mexican people. So my Mexican friends were pushing me to create something because before that I was just performing solo. And I was so happy, to be honest. But then my friends want me to share this energy, this positivity around the society. And they pushed me to create a company. I was like not really wanting it at the beginning because I knew it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I know it's a lot of effort and it's a lot of bringing people together and finding the money to support the development of the work. But then they keep pushing me and then I say yes. And then we started together and I start asking people around if they want to support us. And finally, I found the Wellbeing program of Queen's University, really nice niche to support us, and they accept us to have us and to help at the beginning it was the Queen's University staff, international staff, to bring to the dance group, but it has expanded and now we have people from all around, and also Queen's University staff is always very welcome because this is for you. At the beginning it was the idea to bring international people together through the dance and to create a place where you can share your language, your dance, your culture, and be together. And it has been transformed. And then we have Nisha Tandon from our sector who has supported us a lot during the years, giving us opportunities for performances and always inviting us and always showcasing us our work. And then we have been creating a group of dancers that have been dancing together. And now we have around 16 people in the group.
Wow.
That is a kind of permanent dancers that come in and out. And we're always open to receive new people. So guys, this is another commercial. Please come and join us if you feel like you would like to perform, to learn about cultures. We don't ask for any previous dance training. We provide the training. You provide the beauty of yourself.
Yes, of course. That sounds exciting. And I'm going to join you at some point. I know I've been saying that for quite a while, but when I see you guys on stage, I've seen you in so many festivals, and I just think, wow, that's amazing. I can just see the surface of all the work that you do, like the choreography and the beautiful dresses and, all the hard work in trainings. And I think it's just spectacular, but also to me as Mexicans also, it just makes me shiver to see how you are weaving heritage into culture in here. Like you are bringing part of us Mexicans to Belfast, which I love and adore. And I think it's so innovative, I suppose, because it's trying to bring a lot of people together with the movements of the skirts. And I think that we could say that those skirts are unique to Mexico, but also they are universal to an extent. There are so many other cultures that have the long skirts, and they play with that and the fabric and the way they look and the way they have their own kind of language. I just find it fascinating, and I just love to see that. I love to see you guys on stage, and I love to see more people joining in, and especially more men that would have the show.
More inclusive, so yeah.
Yes.
We try to be the same.
No, I don't mean that way. But
we welcome men and women. Everyone is welcome.
Of course, yes, of course. But how do you think that audiences in Northern Ireland respond to Mexican dance traditions? Do you think they really like it, or is it mixed?
Audiences have been super nice to us. They always love us. We always get lots of pictures. People so excited about the performances. People get surprised that there is a group like us performing. And because our group is not made up of Mexican people, it's people from around the world who is performing in our group and have decided to join us in this cultural journey. So we have people from China, from Germany, from Nigeria, from Northern Ireland. We have a couple from Mexico, of course, from Venezuela, from Colombia. So we have people from all nationalities performing Mexican dance, which I think is beautiful. And I think people see that through the stage because we try to transmit those emotions. And as Izy said, it's trying to change people's perception of what is folkloric dance. Me coming from a very contemporary background and also mixed with folkloric dance, I think we try to make that mix and bring it together and present them to the audience to make it accessible, but also keeping this essence of our traditions. And I hope we're making it really well because people love it.
Absolutely. No, I am very certain of that because it does feel like bringing people together through dance. And I think that's really powerful. I think that is something that should and must continue.
Change.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I would like to hear about the future plans and the future of dance and the support for artists. How do you see things happening?
The future is uncertain always.
Oh.
But if you ask me, I always wanted to improve always in a personal level. And I have three sources of improvement. Like I do have my classes, which I always aim to improve myself to be able to deliver better classes and of course to transmit to bring change to people's life. That's my aim with my classes, including children, inspire other people, which are my students, so in turn they can inspire more people, and this is a change of change.
Yes.
And the other one is me individually as a performer, which I just received an invitation from the Arts Council to perform at the MAC. Please come on 8th April,
Lovely,
lunchtime,
yes.
and then you'll see me dance. Follow my socials, so I'll keep you posted of the exact time. And me as a performer, and also me as a director and choreographer of this group of dancers of Mexican dance, which we are always trying to bring new people into our group. We always try to find new spaces for performances, opening to more people. We're traveling to Cork in May.
Wow.
To bring Mexican dance to Cork. We also gonna go to London. We are like a regular invitees to London Day of the Dead celebration. And we also wanted to let people know that Mexico is more than Day of the Dead. It's everything.
Yeah.
It's about connecting. It's about creating community. It's about dancing and enjoying it. It's about transmitting all the positive energy in our performances. So
I love it.
Lots of things to do for the future.
It sounds exciting. I'm really excited to hear all the projects that are coming your way. And obviously, I have a very difficult question to ask. Do you think that the resources out there, are there enough? Or what do you think should or could change in order to provide spaces for artists?
There is never enough resources because we use a lot. My perspective in this is there is never enough, and new funding is always welcome. I usually rely on Arts Council funding and on a personal funding as an individual artist. And I think they should have more funding for groups and companies. There is no funding for companies. It's like I chose as an individual, and from there I can pass it to the rest of the people. But of course, more funding is needed. I also would like the companies to be aware that the artists are the ones who deliver the work at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's the same as an admin people, marketing people, they get paid all the time. But then artists are asked sometimes to work for free, or as they put it, to support. How much money do you need to support your art? It's not a support. We want to get paid.
Yeah, it's your work after all.
Yeah.
Yes, it's your...
Because it's our work. That's what we do for a life. And besides loving, I think it's because we love what we do. And that's an excuse. I expect all the humanity loves what they do, but they love it more.
Yeah.
And then because it's just my body, we are using to perform, it's like I just do it for free. We should get paid fairly, to be honest, especially in Northern Ireland. There should be no way that create big events like Culture Night or festivals without the artists getting paid properly first. Put that in the budget first.
Absolutely.
And then go from there.
I completely agree. I think that you bring such a constructive perspective to this, because sometimes I think that the general public don't realize that artists are asked to do things for free. They just assume that they would be paid as any other caterer or engineer, like, you know, like anyone who would clean, or like they just assume.
Ask your plumber.
No, of course
not.
You wouldn't.
Like, you never ask a lawyer.
No, and it's a profession, and I think it's important that we all realize that it's a job, it's a work that should be paid appropriately, especially if that's what people are dedicating their lives to. Definitely, a sustainable support is needed, and it's very clear that it's needed. So, what is one change that would make a big difference for dancers?
I could say, we don't have an agency that protects us officially. I mean, there is lots of small agencies that are individual companies. But then, as I said, in terms of official wages, we're still relying on theater equity. And so we never know how to pay ourselves properly. To be honest, there is not a rule or something. And there is also, as I said, not enough support for the performances, especially in dance, people should be more educated about what our needs in performance, that a dancer is not the same as bringing an exhibition. It's not the same as bringing an actor. We need a space. It's our body. We need proper changing rooms. We need to warm up before the performance. We need water, and we need a space before and after. We need to see the space before.
Of course.
We need all those things. I think sometimes I've been in performances where people didn't realize that I need a speaker, and I'm telling the truth. Like, they didn't know, oh, you need a speaker to perform.
Yeah.
Just I need to play some music. Yeah. Or where the floor has been really not the best to perform, and then they ask for Mexican dance, and then we don't perform in carpets, or we don't have enough spaces. I think there is a lack of education, and sometimes I think also the artists, we don't feel that confident, and I'm blaming myself to ask for all these requirements that should be deemed as essential. Like in theater, there are standards, but in dance, I'm pretty sure there are, but then maybe I'm not aware. So if you're not, please bring it to me.
Yes, some of those requirements most people wouldn't know, and I would organize few events every now and then, and there are things that you wouldn't think about.
You wouldn't think about it,
and until someone points it out, it's like, oh yeah, and then once they point it out, it's like, well, that was obvious. Why didn't I think about that? So yeah, it's about education and about understanding other people.
And I guess it's also about dancers and the professionalization of the teaching in dance. Some people think like they just can teach because they know something in dance, and then there you go, put on your school, and then there is no rule that you can open your school. There is not a rule that said that you cannot be a teacher. So basically anyone can be a dance teacher. But I wonder, can anyone be a teacher in a primary school? No, you have regulations in place, right? But for a dance teacher, there is no regulations.
That's a bit scary, and at the same time worrying, because you don't know, like, especially when you move your body, you might not necessarily know if you're doing it right. So if the person know how to do it, but is not properly trained and stuff, you can get hurt.
I'm pretty sure there are some people that they're very aware, and then they are really nice teachers even without taking the training. But then that's the danger in like trying to be, just because you're a good dancer doesn't mean that you are a good teacher.
Oh, I'm certain of that, because I know I'm a great dancer. No, just kidding. Have to left feet, but I have fun with that.
I'm pretty sure there are beautiful dancers that are also beautiful teachers. That's a problem that I have realized lately as I'm becoming a teacher, and because my way of teaching is very meaningful, and I try to bring the best of the people. I guess there are teachers that have a different approach.
Absolutely. I really love that you are teaching children and grown-ups alike, because my problem has always been that there's a lot of things for children, but not enough for grown-ups. So if you want to, you have a little bit of time free and you don't want to sit in front of the TV, what do? Most people head to the pub, and that's all right. But if you want to do something else, there's not many other opportunities unless you go specifically looking for them. It's not like as well known as, I think there's a lack of marketing in that respect. Like there is
very few. If you Google contemporary dance classes in Belfast for adult people, you'll find maximum 2, and one of them is mine, by the way. Fridays 7 to 8, Queens Sports Center, contemporary dance for adults. Everyone is welcome.
I would love to do that, and I put all these information on the podcast notes, so you don't have to pause it and play the audio again. So I'll just put it on the notes for everybody to go there. And I also put a link to your page. And then again, people can follow your performances, and if they want to book, they can do that as well. But in the meantime, thank you, Mayte, for sharing your story, your passion. Your vision for dance is a powerful force of connection and well-being. And to everyone who is listening, thank you for joining us for another episode of Conversations with Agents of Change. If today's conversations inspire you, moved you, or sparked a new idea, make sure you subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who needs a reminder that it's never too late to start, and one small step can become a movement. I'm Izy Boyd, and I'll see you in the next conversation. This podcast is produced by the Change Impact Group.